Well, this might help. Didn't bring myself up on the stage. How's everybody doing today? Gary Cardone here. It is August 16th. I'm all by myself today. I'm going to be running this show. Let's see how we do. Need to bring up a few little things. If you guys could retweet the space, put it out there to other people, that would be awesome. Also, what would be helpful for me today is questions, answers, comments in the comment section to help the conversation go. I've got James Eric Waugh in the room. I don't think I know you, but I'm going to bring you up to the stage and see if you've got anything awesome to say here in a second. I'd like to bring up just a snapshot of where we are right now. Let me see if I can present this. Hope everybody's doing great today. I bought $57,000 Bitcoin yesterday. I think about 1.75. Happy with that purchase. That was, if you guys can see this now, I think you probably can. Oh, perfect. It's working. Nobody needs to see me here, but Bitcoin's at 58 grand, bouncing between 57 and 59. Quite interesting. The miners are flat to up a little bit today. There's been a lot of news around MicroStrategy. There's been news around Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. I think Goldman, either for their clients or for their own firm, put about half of $500 million to work in Bitcoin. I think we're going to hear a lot more of that in the next month from the S13 filings. And man, things are weird in the world. I can honestly say that this may be the weirdest moment in history for me. I have never seen more chaos, never seen more shall we say, insanity. I think insanity is probably the right word to use here. I had a gentleman this morning talk about gold. Gold is cracking. I think it hit an all-time high again this morning. Let's see if I can pull this back up here. Where is that gold chart? Gold's at 24.92, up pretty strong, bouncing off the top. Let's see if I can show you guys this. There you go. There's gold. And a friend of mine, a fairly new friend of mine, very bullish gold. I am not so bullish gold here. I sold most of my gold. I still have a silver position that I'm not crazy about. But I think that if gold is going to do well here, I think gold is showing us that we have a world in a world of hurt, a lot of trouble, probably war on the front, on the forth in the future, not distant future. But if gold's going to respond like this, I think we're going to find that Bitcoin is going to behave exceptionally well in this environment. That is my thesis for my investment in a Bitcoin, is that it is a call option against everything going great, and it's a put option in the event that everything breaks down. And I suspect that everything's going to break down. I'm going to add James here. If James, you'd like to come to the room, happy to have you. Don't know you. I take more people on these shows than most people get comfortable with, but I like people, and I like giving everybody a shot. So good to meet you, sir.
Oh, nice to meet you, Gary. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Sound perfect. What? Tell us a little bit about yourself. And we've never met, right?
No. I don't think I've ever met you, Gary. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Awesome to have you.
So I have a background in IT. I did military. I don't have any money invested. I got like $13 invested in one cryptocurrency, but nothing in Bitcoin. I don't got gold, and I got no money in the bank. But I'm very suspicious of any crypto where we don't know how it works or who owns it. Same thing with the Federal Reserve. It's very private, very compartmentalization.
Yep.
And the fact that Bitcoin requires power usage in video cards is I don't think it's sustainable. I mean, I think the Bitcoin price will keep on going up because it's a valuable currency, and crypto is great. And it's better over long distances. It's easier to store. Like, you can have 10 million in Bitcoin to store in your pocket, but you can't store 10 million of gold in your pocket. You gotta put it in the bank, pay a guard. Um, I I don't have much to offer for advice for investing because I am broke. But I guess my only 50 cents to add to this is I just wish there was a crypto that you could have faith into that didn't require energy, or at least free energy would be great. That was possible, but not in not in this universe.
But
But
James, let me ask you a question on that. Just test the thesis. What doesn't use energy? I mean, just because you use energy, if you don't eat in the morning or for 5 or 6 days, you're going to lack any kind of creativity or production.
I
So
like the
you,
sun. I mean, I like growing my food.
yeah,
I like
okay,
having a garden,
but
but
my point
I
is,
agree.
you can't make something wrong because it uses energy, right? Your automobile uses energy. Your home requires energy. Um, uh, I don't think that just because something requires energy makes it bad.
Oh,
The
definitely not. Bitcoin is going to go keep on going up. Like there's no stopping Bitcoin right now. I mean, if you're investing in Bitcoin, not in gold right now, that's probably a solid investment right now. Crypto is powerful, and
Yeah.
it's probably where the future is going.
Well, speaking of the gold and the Bitcoin, don't you find it interesting that you can buy Bitcoin? Let's say you have $30. You can buy $30 of Bitcoin at the exact same price that I buy 30 million, right?
Yeah.
But you cannot do that to gold. In order for you to buy $30 worth of gold, you're going to pay 100 to 200% premium for that fraction of that piece of gold, right? Because it requires a lot more energy. They first go in, grab a bunch of gold out, clean it up, refine it, and then they start breaking it down into tiny little chips, and you get to pay extra for that, like 1 to 200%.
I
Somebody
didn't know
might be
that,
able.
Gary. I mean, I
Oh,
always thought.
absolutely, dude. If you try to buy $30 worth of gold right now, you'd buy something. I think it's Valkyrie has a tiny little chip.
Little
You can buy
gram.
them a little. No, it's a microgram.
Oh
Dude.
my! Oh goodness.
And the thing is, though, like an ounce of gold, a buffalo gold will have a premium to a bar of gold. So every time you fraction that bar of gold down from, say, 100 ounces down to a fraction of an ounce, the premium goes up and up and up. Whereas Bitcoin, if you literally wanted to buy $30 worth of Bitcoin this morning, you would pay 58,194 divided by however many satoshis you're buying, right? So, and zero premium.
Yeah, that's
Literally,
Satoshi. Yeah.
that is a game changer. See, that's why I disagree with my friend in the gold market. I think everyone is already long gold, but every sovereign and every Fed, every financial institution already has gold on its books. Most sovereigns and wealthy people have gold on its books. And I maintain none of these people, very less than 2% of these people or entities have any Bitcoin whatsoever.
Well, that's why I follow you, Gary. I've only followed your Twitter for about 6 months or so, but you always share a lot of your knowledge, and I appreciate you doing what you do because, you're offering people advice, and people can take it or leave it. You're
Well,
not
now I'm
forcing
not
anyone to do
offering
anything.
advice. I'm
Oh,
just
sorry. Okay.
sharing.
All
I'm
right. My
sharing.
bad. Sorry.
I'm sharing my knowledge
But
and my experience. That's all I'm doing, and I'm sharing publicly how I'm investing in this asset class. I'll tell you all when I'm out of the asset class. Also, I'm not gonna
the thing
lead
I don't
people.
like about Bitcoin specifically is what are they computing? Like, is there an end game? Like, is there going to be a point where all the Bitcoin can be just done? Like, okay, we got 100 Bitcoins now, and I know it's more than that. I'm sure there is a number. I'm not
21
familiar.
million. It's
But
21 million. 19.6 are issued and in the market.
But how long do we have to wait? 10 years, 1,000 years? Like, are we
Wait
gonna
for
have to
what?
start
For
to
what?
end Bitcoin? Like to get it to a market where 100% of the market is available to people. Right now, Bitcoin is compiling and just, they have data centers. They got people hacking people's computers trying to, mine Bitcoin slowly. There's town employees hacking town networks just to earn $20 a day off of $40 of electricity off the taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, but these people are stealing electricity, right? They're
Oh
not.
yeah,
They're not.
no,
They're not
100%. That's what I
hacking
don't like.
into. But they're not hacking into Bitcoin. They're
No,
hacking
not
into other
Bitcoin.
people.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know who knows how Bitcoin works. I don't know if it's open source. I don't think it
Have
is.
you ever read the white paper? I
No,
would, James, I would encourage you to read the white paper and to read a book called Suddenly, Then Gradually by Parker Lewis. It's an awesome book. The Bitcoin Standard's also another good book. And really appreciate you coming on and just sharing, your experience and what you're doing. I'm going to continue with the show. I'm going to pop you out here. If you got any other questions or comments, please add.
Thank you for your
Appreciate you
time.
coming in, and happy for anyone to add comments or questions if you guys want to come in. Thank you so much, James. Guys, I'm excited about where we're at right now. We got 88 days to an election. I think it will be a election the likes we've never seen before, assuming we have an election. I still maintain we're probably going to have a rough 88 or so days until that election. If we have it, I'm not convinced we're going to have it. If I was the other team, I would do absolutely everything I possibly could to interfere with this election. I would steal the votes, cheat on the votes, manage the votes, do whatever. And if I couldn't do all that, which I would be doing right now, I'd be manufacturing these votes right this second. Then I would figure out how to get rid of my opposition. Oh, they tried that 3 or 4 weeks ago. No one is talking that someone 4 weeks ago attempted to assassinate the lead man running for the president of the United States and a prior president of the United States, who is also going to be evidently sentenced sometime in the next 2 months. This is unprecedented shit in our history as the United States of America, behaving more like a banana republic, I would maintain. And in a state of chaos that I don't think this world's seen in a very, very, very long time, if ever, which is really sad to me because we are now in a place where I think we have to go critical. Something has to break, and something has to break, or something has to break, because I don't see how you can just go along as we're going and not have a major problem, either further protests, which are happening all over the world today, not only in the United States, but everywhere. Spain, Portugal, Germany, the outskirts of London, almost every area that I can think of right now on this planet is in great duress, great fear, and highly polarized. And I think this is the agenda. The agenda must be, you have to ask yourself, why is the migration and the immigration issue so off the charts crazy, with zero assimilation by the governments allowing these people to come in, and zero interest or assimilation desire from those that are coming in. When I moved to England in 1992, I made a decision that I was going to adopt their rules, their lifestyle, and become, when in Rome, do as the Romans, right? Well, I did that. I have more friends in Europe today than I have American friends, because I committed to living there and being a part of their country instead of constantly flying back every weekend to the United States only to then go back to London on Mondays and complain about what I didn't have in London that I had in the United States. And I was there only to make money. I actually lived in the UK, became part of the UK, went to your comedy clubs and learned your language. Funny enough, I had to learn the language of the English and not the Americans. So I don't see anyone even talking about um, people assimilating today that are coming in and out of the country. And I agree, migration is something you cannot stop. Migration is going to happen. I heard a gentleman say the other night, hey, look, migration is not something you put in a box. Migration has been occurring since the beginning of time, and it will continue to occur because human beings want, they move to where the resources are. And if there are no resources in Africa, I'm pretty much sure they're going to start moving to areas where there are resources and there are freedom. Guess where they want to come? They want to come to America. And I'm cool with migration. I'm cool with immigration, legal immigration process. What I'm not okay with is that my parents and family had to go through the process of becoming assimilated into this country, getting passports, becoming legal, even if they weren't legal when they came over here. Okay. There's a point when you go, hey, look, I've been illegal. I want to become legal. Without that, I don't know how our schools, hospitals, housing, neighborhoods are going to meld together two different religions, cultures, language, the way we do things, the food we eat. How can you possibly put together a population of people that are at peace and cooperating and producing with each other like a village when there's never been an intention to put them together? You're actually doing everything you can to polarize people, which leads me to, if you're polarized and you're angry and no one has done anything to create education, language, food, hospitals, housing, roads, and the like, dude, you're going to have people that these people won't even be able to legally work. What do you think they're going to do when they get hungry? They're going to do exactly what I would do. I will turn into whatever I need to turn into to take care of my family, man. It's like really literally down to my survival and the survival of my family. As an alpha male, my job is to take care of my family. And I don't want to break laws and rules, but if you put me under enough duress, I will take care of my family. And if that includes burning your fucking house down next to me because I thought you were a threat, I think all of that is on the table. And I'm a good guy, dude. I mean, I'm a legit, honest cat. I have no interest in hurting anyone. But when it comes down to feeding my children, like, would I steal an apple from a grocery store? Damn right I would. And maybe I'll pay it back in 3 years, right? But during a time of duress, I'm going to do what it takes to do, and so will everyone else, no matter what their first or last name is, no matter what language they speak or what religion they're in. Under enough duress, you will commit crimes, and that's just the way it is. Okay, it's like survival. So I don't really know the solution to this other than sitting down and being really honest with everyone, saying, look, we have a fucking mess to clean up here. Pardon my language. We have a mess across multiple continents. And without addressing this, I don't know how it ends nicely. And maybe it needs to end unnicely. Maybe we need a moment of reflection. Maybe we need a depression. I have actually said for a long, long time, this doesn't get fixed unless it breaks. It's got to break first, and then everyone has to figure out, oh shit, we don't really like riots every day, 24/7, and people fighting over goods and services. Mostly goods, by the way. Nobody's going to care about services. So why am I here? And what are we really talking about? I'm here because of Bitcoin. And I believe what I just talked about, some of the chaos that's sitting on this planet, that maybe not sitting on the planet, but it's actually being, it seems like someone's stirring the pot. Okay. This kind of stuff does not happen. Excuse me one second. This stuff does not happen. Absolutely does not happen without someone pouring gasoline on locations and then lighting a match. Okay. I maintain there is someone stirring the pot here, or someone's, and they have an agenda. Now, it's okay. If I'm you, I would ask yourself, hey, what is Gary's agenda here? Why is he here? By the way, love the amount of people coming in the room now. It seems like it's starting to get some momentum. I hate doing these rooms with small numbers of people, but let's see. Where was I with the conversation? The reason I'm here is because what's the word for it? I actually am here because I think I would feel guilty if I weren't here. Like I think I have the other day I remember I was doing a space and somebody was really struggling coming up the chat and they just didn't know how to communicate really well. I actually think that if you have a voice and you can communicate at this point that we have this platform and other platforms like Rumble and others, I think that it's like in your best interest that I actually speak. And I think it's in my best interest if you speak, like that gentleman, James, I brought up. Okay, James doesn't know anything about Bitcoin. Not sure what his agenda was, but you know what? I'm going to constantly bring up people I may or may not know, give everybody an equal shot, and hopefully, you know, people come along, right? They come along and they evolve and they start practicing different muscles. I'm getting better at this. I may not love doing this, but I do think that at least from most of the feedback, people are saying, hey, look, this is better than not having it. I'm a big believer in like 1,000 people should buy a camera, buy a microphone, just like James did, and pop up in here. Okay. Pop into these spaces. I'm doing a space tomorrow, Saturday, around 11 a.m. with a guy named Hitslap. I would have never met any of these people. Okay. Never. And this is why I get really, by the way, Daniel, if you want to come in, just, I think just go into the space and ask to be added to the stage. Where was I? To me, if everybody buys a camera and a microphone, they're not expensive whatsoever. We're doing an awesome job on CNN, Fox. CNN, I think, they had a write down of $10 billion. Okay, they're dying. They're dying. And so JL 1245, 420 Bitcoin, Bad Fox, Spinola, Surge, all of you guys get a microphone, start talking into it. The space we have tomorrow, that's where I was with Hitchlap. We're talking about IQ and personality traits, and does that lead to success? These are some really fascinating conversations that I would have my 18-year-old. I mean, if my 18-year-old wasn't her dad's daughter, she would probably be in here listening. Funny enough, some of her schoolmates listen, and I think that's really cool. So that's the reason I'm doing it. I don't know why Kamala Harris is running for office or Billy Bob's or Donald Trump. I mean, I think Trump wants to actually make a change in the world. That's what I'm trying to do. And I would implore you, man, just implore you to, I'm going to end the session today and it's going to say, hey, go out and do something nice for someone. And it's really, really, really imperative, I think, that my being nice to someone is holding you responsible, saying, look, you can do more. I can do more. Hold me accountable push me, man. Push me to do more, be out there more, because the more of us that are speaking and listening, I will be canceled one day, guys. One day somebody's going to get pissed off at me. It's already happening. I'm having subtle little conversations coming my way. Gary, you really should watch your voice, watch your language. Uh, hey, people don't like you because of whatever. And I'm like, well, you're listening because you're complaining right now. And you know what? I'm not going to change my language. I'm not going to go out of my way to be rude, but this is the way I communicate. And sometimes the F bomb is the best terminology I could possibly use for some occasions. And I'm saying right now that we are in fucking despair on this planet. Like, what word do we want to use for this? Because it's not a little walk in the park, and it's not going away without us all doing something. If I get canceled and there's a million people following me, it is you people that are going to be able to complain about removing my voice. And I also want to be able to hear. I want to be able to hear what Daniel says, what Metal Spark says. I might not agree with it, but I want to be able to hear it. Let me bring Daniel up to the stage. See what I've not met Daniel either. Hello, Daniel. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, buddy. How did you come about this room?
Man, I listen to you often. I actually I don't get on Twitter too much. I listen to you through YouTube, but I've been looking into Bitcoin since 2020. And unfortunately, at the beginning I was like most. I was like, well, this is way too expensive for me. And I seen somebody making money off this Dogecoin thing, and I started dabbling, just dabbling. $60 here, $60 there. Like, I'm on my work break now, but I'll tell you what I have learned is that just studying Bitcoin, I realized that there's a huge opportunity here. And I've never been able to put so much money away in my life. I got 3 kids, and they all think I'm crazy. Everybody I come across, I remember when I was telling people about Solana and Cardano, and now never. I don't mention that stuff at all. It doesn't mean I don't have any of it, but I realize the opportunity lies in Bitcoin. And man, I've never been so close to having a down payment for a home. So I DCA every other week. I get paid, take at least 10% of my paychecks and just throw it in there. And I try to educate everybody, my family, my parents. And it's a little frustrating, but I realize, like Michael Saylor said, everybody gets Bitcoin at the price they deserve. And I eat up this content. Like, I spend luckily I work with my family, so I'm listening to you guys all day long. This has helped me more than anything in my life. And the opportunity is right there for everybody to grab. And when I hear people say, nothing against James, but like, I'm broke, and you're not making the effort. You're not making enough effort, because we all pull up to the gas station and spend 20, $50 here on BS. And if you take this shit serious, you can change your life. I appreciate you bringing me on here to speak my mind. But it's all doing your research. Do some research, man. Just like the politics, it's baffling to me. I'll listen to 4 hours of congressional hearings, and all they do is try to spend money and spend money on BS. Like, what about us? You know what I mean? And we actually have a weapon to fight back right now, and just nobody's paying attention. I go to a restaurant. I heard you say this before, because the same thing has happened to me. I go there and I look at everybody and I'm like, these people have no idea what the fuck is going on. It's crazy. And I try to educate people, and, like, more people started paying attention to what I was saying when the ETFs got approved. But man, like, it's not too late. This is just beginning. Like you say all the time, like, institutions haven't even began to come in here yet. And man, it's surreal. It's exciting. I tell people, like, this is as powerful as electricity. you know the technology is sound, you know, and the opportunity is crazy. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I am so glad you came on the show. I mean, this is something that I think uh, Bitcoin's right now priced at 58,641, and I maintain there isn't a penny, not one freaking penny, dude, that anyone, including the smartest people on Wall Street, have implied in the value of Bitcoin that puts you in a room with me.
Right,
Not a chance, dude. You
right.
and I, what fucking city are you in right now?
I'm in
Right?
Fort Lauderdale. I'm like,
Okay.
man.
You're
Listen,
you're
I
you're
remember when you said you offered a guy 125K to come work with you. And, my family. What? Are you insane? You know what I mean? Like that opportunity, I would do anything for something like that. You know, but people just need to fucking pay attention to what's happening. You know, and
yeah.
yes, this is crazy. I can't even believe
What
I'm
what
speaking to you right now.
what do
It's
you
an
do for a
honor.
living? What do you do for a living, man? It's an
I
honor for
I
me to talk to you, dude.
I manage the production for my sister and her husband's factory. They have a ice cream factory,
Oh,
and
cool.
you know, I manage the production there, and you know, I have a team, and I do
Y'all
my
sell
best.
residential, or you sell to consumers, or sell wholesale?
Yeah, we sell to Walmart, CVS. You know, we opened in 2011, and these past few years have improved crazy. You know, but uh, last year was probably our weakest year. You know, this year has been a little bit of a turnaround. But yeah, we're in multiple states. We're in Rhode Island. We're in Boston. But you know, even them, they have no idea. You know, I try to educate them as well, but you know, it's like, who's gonna listen to the guy that hasn't done anything great yet? You know what I mean? It's like, this, you know, but even though they're dabbling, but that's how you start. You know, like my sister's husband, I tell him all the time, like I this is what I give people for their birthdays now. Books, you know, I gave them the Bitcoin Standard, and I realized, like, man, it's all there. If you're
That's
not
right.
lazy, I've listened to more audiobooks last year than I did read in my life, you know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
how I learned, like, hey man, we all
Well,
can
let me
invest.
ask you, Daniel, were you a good student?
Um I was a decent student. I would say a decent student. I, to be honest with you, you know, I had to hit rock bottom to
Tell
actually
me,
start paying attention.
yeah, tell me, most people do, dude. It, see, that's just the truth. See, yeah, most
Right,
people go, "Oh, that's just for addiction."
right,
Bro,
right.
everybody's got to hit the fucking wall to find out
For
who they are.
sure.
This is why I
For
tell everybody, leave your home at 17, 18 years old. Get
That's
the
right.
hell out of your county, the parish you're in. Like, do not bring your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or anybody else. If you got a twin brother, don't bring them, dude. Go somewhere and become your own being. This
Right,
is why Grant and I are so different, man. You look at him and look at me like, okay, we look alike? No, we couldn't be. Like, we are so different, but like we did this. Our
right,
lives were massively changed.
right.
So I'm going to bet that you have learned more. What did you study in school? High school, college?
You know, I did a culinary school. I did
Yeah.
culinary school.
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
Yeah,
so you went to high school and then you did some culinary work. But
correct.
have you learned more about the world by studying Bitcoin than you did in school?
In the last 4 years,
Unbelievable.
I'm baffled. I'm like, what is going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
bro. You know, I have actually come to the view that Bitcoin is not complicated. Now,
No,
I think a lot of people have complicated how you position Bitcoin. What's complicated is to start to realize, however old you are, you know nothing about how the real world works.
right,
And that is the confront that most people are like, oh shit, it's taking my brother because he's holding on to that paradigm, right? That paradigm of real estate. Now he's finally going, whoa, man, I finally understand what you mean about location, location, location. I'm like, dude, Bitcoin is the perfect location without any location.
that's right.
It is prime real estate
That's
without
right.
any location. Anytime anyone wants to do something to that location, you say, fuck, I'm out. Bye.
That's correct.
Bye. See you later, alligator. You can't do that in Manhattan.
Anywhere.
Okay?
Anywhere.
There isn't anyone in Manhattan that can predict what the cost of that real estate is going to be next year because they don't know what the tax rules are going to be. If they're broke, they're broke. They're going to have to raise it from someone. Who they're going to do? They're going to raise it from the people who have baggage on the ground they can't move. It's called real estate or big business, right? So it's and we're seeing this, man. We are seeing a migration from poor operating environments, cities, states, to we're seeing the same thing in America that we're seeing across the world right now. Migration is not stoppable. Your ancestry before you came here. Y'all weren't born here, dude. You were born somewhere else.
I mean, I'm
years.
Colombian.
Yeah, exactly.
I migrated over here too, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And you migrated here because there were more opportunity here than there was there.
That's
And
right.
that's migration. You don't stop that ever. Humans have been trying to survive forever. We're always going to go where there's the densest food, densest resources possible.
Right.
We're not going to move to Africa and say, hey, let's go build an agricultural. That's not happening, right?
That's correct.
So, dude, it's really good to have you here. I'm glad you're into Bitcoin. I really support what you're doing. I think you're going to be 5 years from now, you're going to be a legend in your family. And just like, they probably don't know a lot of things I don't know anything about ice cream, dude. So like, you're not going to get me interested in ice cream. So when I hear families say, hey, I can't get my families involved in it, like your job is not to get your family involved in it. Your job is to buy as much of this shit as you can, bro.
That's right.
Knock off the Starbucks and the whiskey and just every $30, $300, $1,000, whatever you can do.
Right.
You are in good company. Okay. Like I ain't going anywhere, dude. And I am extremely allocated. And if I would have been doing this at your age, I would have loaded up on this motherfucker. It's just a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I use that serious language because you're probably 32 years old. You would have to work for another 30 or 40 years at 80 hours a week, which, by the way, I think most people should be working 60, 80.
Right.
What else are you going to do, dude? Go home.
Right.
Your wife doesn't want to hang around with you that long, right?
I leave here and go hit a side job. I need money for Bitcoin. Whatever it is, I'll do a landscaping job. I'll do a dock I did recently. Whatever it is, I'm
Totally,
doing
dude.
it. And if I have to pull up YouTube to learn how to do it, that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? We have everything right here in front of us to learn. It's crazy.
Totally.
I just did Jordan Peterson's Harvard his whole semester. Like, what? That's available to us.
What'd
And
that
people
cost
are
you,
out
man?
here watching the Real Housewives of Wichita or whatever it is right now. You know what I mean?
What did that cost you to go to that
Nothing.
program?
Time, my time. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Exactly.
It's crazy. It's available to us right here if you want it. But everybody is so distracted by the BS, all this politics stuff. Like, and I'm like, man, it all comes down to the money. That's all. These people don't care about us. These people don't care. What? Like, when I look at what happened to Venezuela, I had to teach my mom, like, Mom, Venezuela was the third richest country in 92. By 07, by 97, the second largest purchaser of Ford F-150s. By 2001, they went with the socialist, whatever, I think Chavez. And that country didn't even last a decade. Collapsed. And I'm like, yo, that's exactly what's happening here. And we have an out. We have a way to protect ourselves, and people don't see it.
Yeah.
It's insane, man.
Yeah. Well, listen, buddy, good chatting with you. Really good to meet you. I've met 2 new people today.
Same.
face to face. Thank you so much. Like
Same, man.
I look at everyone now where maybe in earlier years, thank you for being here. I look at everyone today as, hey, this person's a gift to me. Whereas 30 years ago, I would have been scared of anybody I didn't know, didn't see. Oh, he's got a red hat that's backwards and he's wearing a beard and he's in his car. And, dude, who cares, dude?
Yeah,
Like, who
right.
cares, right? We're just all regular old people.
That's
It
right.
dawned on me, to the audience, it dawned on me about a year into Bitcoin that what a great job Bitcoin does at basically cutting through any kind of religious bullshit or ethnic or judgments. The more Bitcoin I have, the nicer person I become. It's the weirdest freaking thing, dude.
Yo, that's so
I
true.
can't
It's so true.
explain it, but and by the way, there's not one penny of value cooked into Bitcoin based on me becoming a nicer person. Like, I don't think so. You and I met each other, not a penny of value in Bitcoin. Nobody talks about the community. I would not be here, dude. There is no chance I would be here today
Right.
if it weren't for Bitcoin. We would not be talking about energy. I'm not going on a podcast to talk about natural gas or electricity or payments. There's
Right.
something else going on here that is really, really, really impressive. So thanks a lot for coming. Hope you
Thanks,
do
bro.
join the spaces. By the way, I'm holding a space tomorrow with a guy named Hitch Slap. I know you don't do the Twitter thing, but you'll enjoy this. It's on IQ and personality traits and how
Okay.
it leads to success. You would probably enjoy it. It'd probably be very beneficial for you.
I'll be there, man. I'll
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah,
Thanks,
good to have
Gary.
you, buddy. I'm going to pop you out of the room, and
All
we're
right.
going to probably have it. Thank you so much.
I'll
Okay,
be
you guys
listening,
follow
man.
this cat. Okay, look at this cat. He's a hustler, man.
Hey,
He's a
man. Follow me. Love that.
yeah. Y'all follow Daniel. He's a good guy. Thanks, Daniel, for coming in. I'm going to
Thank you,
run
man.
through a few of these comments, and then we'll thank you, buddy, and we'll close up here. JH says, Bitcoin helps build electric grid the consumers don't need to pay for. We can power off miners during crisis. Also, so much wasted power. Really good point, JH. They are going to be the load balancer. It's going to be quite interesting. But I also think this is first evolution mining. You're going to see next year and the following that's going to go. It's not. It will stay on the mid utility side. The utility side and provide load balancing. But the next move is for sovereigns and energy firms or nukes to bring Bitcoin right back to the platform. Bypass all transportation, bypass all logistics, bypass all refining. And you bypass all sovereign risk or sanctions or embargoes from someone saying, hey, we don't want Russian nat gas in Europe. Well, guess what? Now they're going to have Bitcoin in Europe because Putin's going to be able to mine right at its wellhead. That makes so much sense to me. And it is that energy that currently is not even coming to the market. So the cool thing is Bitcoin's literally going to lift energy that is not in the market today, not being used. That is where all of this goes, in my opinion, in the next 3 to 4 years, which is really fascinating because it doesn't actually put a load on the current energy that's used to heat homes, run power systems, and keep all of your computers up all night long. And I know every one of you think that energy is grossly too expensive. Not one of you people, not one of you turn your computers off last night before you went to bed. Electricity is priced too cheap. If it was priced correctly, you would not leave your computers on. You would not have a tremendous need to have a 42-inch or 70-inch TV screen that's instant on, always on. That burns energy, okay? It'd be a little bit like you pulling your car into the garage and keeping it turned on, and then walking into it the next morning and realizing it doesn't have any gasoline. Yeah, no shit, used it all. So BTC does not need energy to work per the energy, and is what all life needs. Yep. Yep. A1, great points. Thank you so much. 420, Gary is rocketing. Awesome. For 1 gram of gold, it's 10 to 20% higher than 1/10. Yeah. I've seen premiums that are stupid, man. When you really calculate what those premiums are, they're really obnoxious. That's never been available until Bitcoin. I mean, think about that, okay? Wholesale, there's a word called wholesale and retail. Those two terms, wholesale is always cheaper than retail, except in Bitcoin. Michael Saylor is going to buy probably, I don't know, 500 Bitcoin this month. You can buy $50 worth of Bitcoin at the same price he's buying 500 or 5,000 Bitcoin. That is not available, okay? You cannot do that in any other market. Can anyone tell me where you can buy a fraction of something at the same price you can buy the whole lot? I don't think you're going to come up with many examples of that. That's a game changer. That is actually why I believe that real estate will be saved, and that the reason that Fidelity is really here is not Bitcoin. It's not big enough for them. But what is big enough for them is the tokenization of all what they call real world assets, which I don't think there's anything. I think Bitcoin is and gold are real world assets. And owning a home. I mean, I had 5 bankers over here the other day. Dude, this is a beautiful home. I'm like, well, I'm glad you like it, dude, because you own it. I mean, they own the whole freaking thing. They have 100% loan on this house. I just paid the interest. It's effectively like me renting. Okay. I'm just renting it probably 5% on a stupid amount of money, allowing me to take that money and put it into Bitcoin and let the Bitcoin work. My brother and I were on a space yesterday. It's very, very interesting now watching these real world asset players start to come around, because Grant is no longer asking the questions he used to ask or making the comments he used to make. He's now making comments like, wow, Bitcoin's got a location. Bitcoin has a location value to it that he never understood. And the more you talk about location, or he talks about it. See, I let him talk about his premier real estate positions, some of which may be underwater like others are if you came to sell those. But when he talks about defending his position on a particular piece of real estate in Houston, Texas, or Chicago, he always talks, hey, man, it's a 2-minute walk to Starbucks. It's across from a college. It's across from ExxonMobil. It's location. After saying that for years and years and years, and then he understands Bitcoin has no location, but therefore it has all locations. China, instant, dude. It's just instant. Whoever, Japan, Singapore, Costa Rica, Chile, America, any place in America, any amount you get to hold right here. Unheard of technology, okay? Like, we've never had this, where before kings and prime ministers would have to put 100,000 ounces of gold on a boat, insure it, wait 8 weeks. Hopefully the pirates didn't get it. Now they can put $1 billion into a seed phrase, transfer it all across the world to another individual or a computer, and bango spango, their location has changed. Their money hasn't changed, though. The currency is exactly the same. It's in Bitcoin. I think that is phenomenal. The more you study it, the more you realize, oh my goodness, man, we've removed logistics. We've removed third-party risk. To remove third-party risk is staggering. We've removed permission. I don't need permission to do whatever I want with Bitcoin. I can transfer it to you directly without an intermediary slowing the process down or adding a fee. I'm not going to accelerate. If I take crude oil to $150, dude, you'll see 4 million barrels come into this market, okay? 4, 6, 7, 8% of new supply will hit the market, and it will throttle down the price. Just the same with nat gas. Nat gas goes to $4, all the nat gas on the planet comes on. You can't do that with Bitcoin because you can't accelerate Bitcoin. You're going to have to price Bitcoin, find a seller who doesn't like 58,000 and they're selling at 58, and you're able to acquire it, and it's gone. That's gone until you make another trade. So I think that when supply and demand actually speak to each other, and we're what now? We're almost 200 days post halving. Have we been that long? Maybe not 200 days, but seems to me like sometime between, well, are we going to have an election? That's the question. And if we don't have an election, that's probably not going to instantly be good for Bitcoin. That means we've had some other kind of problem. Interesting to me that 11 minutes after Trump was, the attempted assassination on Trump occurred, I thought it was very interesting 11 minutes later that we had a $2,500 move on Bitcoin, and then it followed through and continued to follow through. I thought that was absolutely fascinating. And that was a Saturday afternoon at 6:24 p.m., 11 minutes after the shooting. I thought that was a really, really cool indicator. Gold didn't move. Okay. Bitcoin moved $2,500. Kind of makes me think about, oh, wow, if they'll shoot you in the face, dude, on TV, don't think they won't come take your money. Don't think they won't tax you, and don't think they won't send a 3-letter agency to you, either one that's existing or one they create in the future, to hamper you down, to deploy martial law, which I think this is what the whole immigration thing is about, this insanity of just wide open, let anyone come in. It must be for some purpose that you and I can't imagine, and that must be to couple that with zero interest on assimilation anywhere. Assimilation means I come into a country and I start to behave like that country. Okay. That's what immigration's been in the United States. Italians come in, they pay their dues and their tuition for 20, 30, 40 years. And then, God, guess what? Gary and Grant Cardone are billionaires one day. Whoa, less than 100 years. That's the beauty of America, dude. My family, my grandfather was probably an organized crime member, naughty boy, shucking and jiving, doing what he could do to survive. He didn't have a passport. He was born on the boat, and they came over and they hunkered in groups, a bunch of wops, Italians, Dagos, all eating their own food, and then they assimilated into America. And you like, just look at how this all happens. It always happens the same way, whether you're white, black, green, whatever religion. This is going to be repeated over and over and over again, no matter what the skin color or the religious beliefs are. This is what migration does across the planet. They're coming for the resources. We are dense in resources. The sad thing is we're extremely, extremely wasteful and arrogant, and have massive hubris, and don't understand that 40% of the rest of the world, I was getting ready to say free world, but that's not true. 40% of the rest of the world still cooks on wood every day. You hadn't thought of that in a long time, have you? 40% of the world cooks on wood every day. Okay. 40% of the world is in poverty, man, deep poverty. Because they don't have resources. And that's why they're coming here, and they're going other places. Thing that boggles my mind, I don't know why they're going to the UK, because they don't have any resources in the UK. All they have is laws and rules and politics and 500 years of really weird families running the place. Okay, guys. Well, look, let's do this. This is really kind of hard to do all by myself. We at 58,454 on decent volume. The altcoin market looks like it's really, really struggling. I believe that Bitcoin's going to have more dominance than it's ever had this cycle. We got silver at 28.80, gold's at 24.97, the SPY's at 55.55. Oh man, the SPY's just rolling since August 20, since August 5th, last 11 days. It's moved from 51 to 55. Okay, it's 10% moving. 10% move in 10 days. That's unbelievable. I'm looking at stuff and you guys can't see it all. You can probably see my crackly little face. Mara's up 1.6%. Riot's up 1.6%. Bit Farms is down 1.3%. Iron is up 2.68%. Oh, here's a question for you guys. Let's say I had $100 to $500,000 in sitting in legacy banks, in treasury notes. What miner would you go into? Wolf, Cipher, Iron, Clean Spark, or Hive? You guys give me your thoughts on that. Okay, what miner would you go into with $500,000, knowing that you're going to want to hold that money for maybe 1 year? Because I pay capital gains. I pay taxes on my crypto, by the way, and so will you. Question is going to be how much and what professionals are you using, how much do they charge you to get you to the right number. If you don't have a good solution and you have more than $250,000 in value today, and you think Bitcoin is going to be worth $250,000 to $1 million, you really should reach out to Node 40, node40.com. Ask for Perry Wooden. Perry's the CEO, and just tell them my name, and they'll give you the exact same deal I have. You can most certainly afford it. It's institutional grade technology to really help you with your crypto accounting, your crypto forensics, any audits that you may incur. And if you got more than $500,000, you're going to be audited. So just calculate that into your cost of doing business. Minimally, if you're not audited, you want to give this tool to your accounting firms and lawyers. If you have them, or when you have them and need them, you want to have this service so they don't overcharge, overbill you by doing this by hand, because you're not going to do this in an Excel spreadsheet. We have one client that's got 1 billion transactions a year. So this is built for professionals or very large holders like myself who believe we're going to be audited, and we're preparing for that audit in a very systematic way so as to reduce the time of the audit, reduce the hassle, and reduce all the fees associated with hiring professionals. So guys, that's about all I've got. I don't see any other pending serious questions that I can see. Let's see if I can just come over here. I want to thank all of you for coming in the room today and enjoyed chatting. If you are interested in talking about success, I hold a space tomorrow with a gentleman called Hitch Slap. It'll be at 11 or 12 noon Eastern, probably 11 a.m. We'll start it. It'll be a 3-hour session. If you're interested in building success, this topic is on IQ and personality and how they relate to successful actions in life. It is a controversial discussion, but I think you'll find it really, really helpful. So thank you guys for coming. Really appreciate you being here, and look forward to being here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. Spaces at 5 p.m. on Monday and Thursdays, and Saturday special sessions. One last thing, you guys need to go out today, do something really, really, really nice for someone, and do not take credit for it. Okay, that's your job. I expect to hear the results from that, and wishing you guys well. Buy some Bitcoin while you still can in the 50s. It's an unbelievable gift. Thank you guys.